Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Wow. Crazy stuff. This whole coronavirus thing. I been getting a lot of little messages, funnies, whatnot. One individual I seen where he posted 60 deaths from coronavirus. That ain't an epidemic. You have that many in Chicago on a weekend. A lot of truth to that. Now, I'm not going to say that there isn't going to be an issue. I mean, that's what they're trying to prevent, supposedly. Grandma tried to do a little bit of shopping yesterday and today. We went Friday, and although I'd seen the rush on the toilet paper, I didn't think a whole lot about it. We still had plenty of food in our Walmart. So I got our regular stuff that we needed. Neither one of us thought much about it. She decided yesterday to go get some stuff that she wanted. And she said damn shelves were empty. Oh, but you know what I'm saying. I like, really? Wow. So she went back in today, get a little bit more stuff, or try to get some stuff she couldn't get yesterday. Folks, it's plumb crazy. Won't y'all just get what you need? Stop trying to hoard stuff. And I'm sure most of my subscribers, I hope most of my subscribers ain't out hoarding. I went into a truck stop earlier today. I was going to get me a roll of toilet paper for the truck. I always carry some. Mine's getting pretty low, so I was going to get a roll. They was out. I usually have some hand sanitizer in there. I ran out of it, so I was going to grab some. Yeah, right. Now I get looking around in there. Damn, if they ain't out of bread and a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't get it. The thing that sucks is usually our freezer is pretty full of food, and so is our pantry. But as I've told y'all, over the course of the last few months, we found where some of our stuff has gotten freezer burnt, just got old, outdated, and all that. So for the last couple of months, me and Grandma have been pretty much concentrating on eating up stuff out of our freezer. We just about got it emptied out, just in time for this nonsense. So she told me she went in there today. There was a little bit of stuff in there and had limits on stuff. So she grabbed up a few meats. Of course, people don't realize that she's buying for the house and for this truck. She said the lunch meats that I normally get, she said not only were they out of them, they was out of all the lunch meats. All the hot dogs. The couple packs we got at the house is all that we got right now. Well, thank you. She did give me some sausages and whatnot. and grabbed a couple of bacons because I like cooking with bacon. Since she was there and they had them. But said she was hitting the checkout line and somebody back there behind her, look at all the meats that she's got. I said, did you turn around and tell them this is regular weekly shopping here? What the hell you got? No. Well, the damn good thing I wasn't there. And she said, yeah. I'd fired them up. First off, I told them it wasn't none of their damn business. And secondly, I spent a couple $100 plus every week in that store. And she couldn't even get all of our regular stuff because people been hoarding it. She said they're out of sodas, out of waters, toilet paper, paper towels, lunch meats, different meats. She said, I couldn't be picky. I just got what I could get. And I said, you did good. You got us something. And it ain't hoarding in our case. It's survival. What have the hoarders left? She's a little worried about me. I told her I'm fighting a headache. Feel like I got a little bit of a fever. I ain't sure. She didn't want to hear that. Our company's been sending out little bullshit memos about this virus and what we should do. Today they sent out one telling us not to come to the office. We needed to conduct our business with the office over the phone. Oh, that's nice of you. You send truck drivers out here all over the country. Expose us to it. But then you're going to wuss out and you don't want to see your own truck drivers? That didn't set well with me. I didn't say nothing. It came over that damn Omnitrax, Qualcomm stuff. Wonder what they'll... Anyhow, I am trying to not get agitated and aggravated from the reactions of the mob out here. Sheep mentality, folks. I'm sorry. Sheep mentality. Who remembers the story of Chicken Little? That's what this reminds me of. The sky is falling. Then you got the other extreme. Reading on there where somebody got some nonsense on and blaming Obama and Bill Gates. They've got this great little story. Really? Talking to someone earlier, they said that they had someone close to them shared a post talking about how this was all a fraud and that to catch this you had to get a shot. It could not have started by contaminated meats. You can't catch no disease from eating contaminated meats. Really? The article said so. Said the acids in your stomach would destroy anything that would hurt you. Really? You ain't never had food poisoning? Stomach acid didn't do worth damn on that. I've had it a couple times. Salmonella? There's a few others. Really? Careful what you're reading, folks. Downloaded. I listened to a YouTube from a British guy, retired nurse, that went back and got his PhD in, I think, some kind of medicine. Sounded like a pretty intelligent individual. I shared it. Grandma watched it. Only thing I didn't really agree with him on, which I'm no doctor or none of that, he was trying to say how America was in denial. So we got a late start on fighting it. I totally disagree with that. Middle of January, Trump started trying to do stuff. He was closing down travel from certain parts of the world. And he caught hell over it from everybody. Then in February, when people really started getting sick around the world, that's when they started paying attention, but they try and pay attention, figure out how they can make it political and to hurt Trump. And to this day, if you watch some of the communist news network and some of them other ones, they're still talking smack about how this administration ain't got a clue what the hell they're doing. Really? I think overall they're doing pretty good. I think, once again, that if he had got more help from both sides, he could have done a lot more, a lot quicker. And old Nancy Poo Poo, they given him more money than he wanted, Trump that is. But to give him that more money, Nancy's wanting to throw in some abortion nonsense. Always got to get her stick, don't she? That didn't work. And the Senate went home over the weekend. The House is working on this bill, and the Senate went home. Really? This is supposed to be a national emergency, and the Senate goes home. I wasn't impressed with that move. How big of an emergency is it then? They are implementing curfews, stopping people from getting in groups of, well, they was saying 50, but now some of them saying 10. It's damn near like martial law, ain't it? Seen many a post where they say, how you like your test run of socialism? A little bit of truth to that. Shelves being empty, curfews. Now, something that does bother me, and I ain't totally made up my mind on it until I get more information. Now, I listened to Trump today, and he made it real plain that they're going to help out the airlines. He said it several times because it ain't their fault. I agree it ain't their fault, but I also know the airlines make pretty decent profit. But he's going to make sure we help them out. Yeah, they're talking about closing restaurants, bars, clubs, movie theaters. Who's going to help them poor folks out? Because most of them are little mom and pop type joints. The majority of them are. They're not big corporations. Who's going to help them out? They also said in that briefing today that outside numbers look like it'd be July, August, and this would play through the system. That's a long time. If you're talking about keeping mom and pop shut down, that'd put a bunch of them under. Who's going to bail them out? The banks got their bailout. Automotive industry got their bailout. Basically, he's talking about bailing out the airlines. Who's going to bail out the little guy? Now, something else that really surprised me. Grandma just told me this a little while ago. I don't know how many of y'all know Sylvia Brown. I'm not a real big fan of hers. And back in the day, me and Grandma watched a lot of her. I can't think of that guy's name. He had a talk show. And she was on his talk show a lot. Black dude. She's an old crippled up white woman. Man, I can't think of his name, and I liked the hell out of him too. For the longest time, he had one of the better talk shows on TV. But he brought her on a lot. They got hooked up. And I found her very interesting. But then I found some different stuff about her. Mostly about her and God. I didn't agree with. Then my dad's widow turned me on to some of her books, me and Grandma. I started reading some of her books and read about her church she was starting, and I did not agree with it at all. However, since then I have talked to some people. I never really mentioned her name, but they was talking somewhat the same thing she was, which made me scratch my head. Well, I've left it alone. I haven't messed with it. I ain't researched her no more. Grandma tells me that someone we know shared a post today, and it was out of one of her books from years ago, and they had circled it. She's going to try to find it so she can read it to me verbatim. But she made a prediction years ago that in 2020 there would be an epidemic that would hit hard. Then it would go away, then it'd come back and hit hard again. Then it'd go away, never be seen again. Really? That'd leave me scratching my head. Maybe I'll do a Google search on that. Sylvia Brown's predictions for 2020 epidemic. Maybe I'll find it. Then I can read the whole story, in front of it and behind that part. Per unit. While I'm pulled up a little bit away from it. Yeah, I do think we have a bit of a situation. I also think that the panic is uncalled for. And some of the pictures I've seen were just ridiculous amounts of toilet paper. There's a post out that says that if you get into a panic and the first thing you do is go buy a bunch of toilet paper, your panic sucks. I gotta agree with them. Talking to Grandma. I've always been what you call a squirrel or a prepper. I squirrel away some stuff just for emergencies. And several years ago, I squirreled away several 5-gallon buckets of different food that would last a while. One of them being a bunch of pinto beans. I like pinto beans. Pinto beans and rice. I put away quite a bit of both. Oh, year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, we got talking about them because we'd put them away and forgot about them. We broke out some of the pinto beans and tried to cook them and cooked them quite a while. They never did get done like we liked. Me and Grandma would just talk about those. And I told her, well, 2 things, Grandma. I said, that was stashed away for dire emergencies. Wrong time to throw it away. We might decide here in the next month or so that we really need it. She said, yeah, but it never did get done when we tried cooking it. True. I said, but we didn't throw it in the pressure cooker. Pressure cooker will get damn near anything done. So, we'll see. We'll see. I wonder. That ain't what I want. Oh, me, oh my. Well, what is today? The 16th? So I figure in about 10 days, a bunch of people will be bringing back their toilet paper and paper towels and try and get refunded. Another thing that I was thinking about today, I drove 460 miles today, not very many. But while I was driving, and I kicked one drop off. They've lifted the hours for drivers that are bringing food to the grocery stores, to the warehouses and whatnot. Really. FMCA and all that, they're saying what a good job we're doing. How great truck drivers are. As soon as this is over, we'll go back to being bad boys and girls. But you know, if the truck drivers will continue to run their regular hours of service like we're supposed to, it might make them appreciate truck drivers a little bit. You know, we were talking about the shutdown here a few days ago. Talking to a couple other drivers in different parts of the country. And we've all noticed there ain't near as many trucks out here as normal. So evidently some of them got scared staying home. I don't blame them. If I could afford it, I would. Maybe this is what the industry needs. There's already hollering we're short drivers. So if some of them get scared and quit the industry or stay home for a few weeks, whatever, then you'll have a few get sick. Might be what the industry needs. Seen a post, I shared it. Y'all can go to my Facebook, Simple Living with Papa Joe on the Facebook. You'll see some of the stuff I've shared. One of them said that if nothing else comes out of this, maybe the public would get to appreciate.
According to dictionary.com.
Really?
Grateful or thankful for, they appreciated his.
Google liked that evidently, but it said it would might make people appreciate the rancher, the farmer, and the truck driver. I'd like to think that's true, but I think we'll only be a good guy for a few minutes. Oh, that's what else it had said, was that maybe people will learn how the sports figures and the movie stars aren't so important, and they'll come to appreciate the ranchers, farmers, and truck drivers. Just a few rambling thoughts on C19. Seeing posts where people put up pictures of train cars with coronavirus C19 on them. Can't help but wonder what that's about. Alright, folks. Wash your hands. Wipe your butt. Don't be hoarding all of the toilet paper. Somebody told me today they're stealing it out of the truck stop bathrooms. Really? Which is why I was going to buy some earlier. It can't be found. Y'all remember. Good Lord loves you. So do I. Put it at His feet. Trust Him. If you're a Christian, trust the good Lord. Y'all hear anything interesting, let me know. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.